Hey, I've got some time today, so I wanted to come in and just talk a little bit about the divorced woman and dating after the age of 40 or 50. So, I've been uploading videos here on TikTok, but I haven't come and done an extended video. So I want to chat today a little bit about this topic. I think it's very, very important to a lot of divorced women, middle-aged women, and I see, some interesting commentary all across social. So I just want to address it. As for me, I've been out of my marriage for about 15 years. So I've been technically single for 15 years. And I've been coaching divorced women for 10 years, right? And outside of my own experience, right, in the dating space, I've had, a couple of relationships over this time period. But also in coaching women, one of the things that I see for divorced women over 40 or 50, especially if they've come out of really, really toxic relationships and marriages or abusive marriages, is that they come out looking for validation, right? They want to come out before they're ready. And ready is relative, right? But they want to come out and see if they're still attractive, and if people find them interesting, and to have some male conversation, and to go on the dates and all the things, right? To feel good, right? To feel better. And the truth is, they end up getting their feelings hurt. They're not prepared, because dating today is not the same that it was 5, 10, 15, 20, or especially 30 years ago. It's not. With social media, with a lot of, theories and rhetoric around relationships, it's just very, very different. And unfortunately, I see a lot of women get hurt and they don't want to date again, right? They have really bad experiences. Now, I've had my own share of experiences, right? But from a little different space, okay? And so one of the things, I just want to come and just give you some suggestions of my thoughts to help you have a better dating journey, okay, in this season of your life. Me, I am 57, okay? So let me say this. The first thing I think that's very important is that you just take some time to yourself, right? I know you want the attention. I know you want to get back out of here. I know you want to get your sexy and your groove on and all that kind of stuff, right? Feel good and all that, right? However, it can be detrimental, because you're not the same person that you were 10, 15, 20 years ago. You're not. You went through a lot. You've had kids, probably, all the things that happen in a relationship. So you need to reevaluate who you are right now. Right? How are you feeling? How are your emotions? What do you want in a relationship? What are your non-negotiables? Where are you flexible at? Right? And a lot of times women aren't thinking about these things, and then they just jump out here, and then they have all these questions and concerns, and they're getting their feelings hurt. And I see this. I've seen this in my practice, but I've also been seeing this on a lot of social media dating groups for people over 50 and over 40. And I think that if you pause a little bit, do some work, focus on yourself, that you'll have a better outcome. Because once you recognize what it is that you really want, that you really need, that you're confident in yourself, then it makes the experience much easier. And contrary to popular belief on social media, I have dated, talked, had conversations with a lot of good men. Now, were they compatible for me? Not necessarily. But there are a lot of good men out here. So don't believe the hype. Now, there's, the game players too. Right? And when you haven't been used to those type of environments and some of the things that go on, you have to be very careful, because you can get hurt. And there's a safety issue too. It's different out here. It is very, very different. So I want to just come and I want to give you a tip. So if you're interested in doing some of that, healing work, you can do it a couple of ways. Of course, you can get a therapist. Of course, you can hire a coach, but you can also do some work yourself. And here's a simple exercise that I want you to give a shot at and think about as you're moving along the course of 2026. So I have these, we're multifaceted individuals, and I call them life zones in my practice. And that is we're physical, spiritual, emotional, social, occupational, and financial beings, right? I want you to list that down in a journal, on a notebook, piece of paper, whatever you want to do. And I want you to write down one thing that you can improve on in that area. How can you improve physically? One thing you can do. How can you improve emotionally? How can you improve on your job, occupational, career change maybe, right? Financially, socially, spiritually. That helps with you being more self-aware, because you're questioning yourself, right? And now it gives you something to work towards. A lot of times we enter the dating space and we want things that we're not ourselves. We want things that we're not even working on ourselves. What are our communication skills like? What do we know about relationships? How are men and women different? Right? Especially our generation, no one talked about those things. The young people are much more aware. I have a millennial and a Gen Xer, and believe me, they are much more aware of relationship, topics, if you will, than I was at that age, because no one was talking. But of course, now they have access to social media, and not just social media, but the internet itself, to find real information, right? Quality information, not just rhetoric that people are saying their opinions. So I just wanted to share that with you on today. I want to encourage you that it is not too late to date. It is not too late to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Build yourself up, become your best self, and keep working on yourself, right? And you will attract those people into your life. I've had a wonderful, wonderful experience. Now, for me, I did not date for 2.5 years after my split from my ex-husband. And it was pretty simple. I was busy working, reestablishing my career. My kids were 6 and 16. And, I was just rebuilding my life and getting used to myself, our household, getting used to doing things on my own. When my kids were, especially my youngest, was with her dad like every other weekend, and I would go to events by myself. I'd go to the movies by myself. I would do things and get to know myself better. And I was in therapy as well. And then later on, I got into coaching. I hired a coach before I became a coach, right? And then I got certified, started working with women and all those things. But anyway, I just want to drop in. I had a little time today. I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts. Are you a divorced woman, over 40, over 50, and maybe over 60? How's it going for you? I'd love to hear your feedback, and let me know if you want me to come or you have a topic. I'd love to come back again.